What's up, crypto family? Welcome back to Goldrush Crypto Daily. Today I've got something absolutely massive lined up. We're diving deep into Zebec Network, and guys, the amount of bullish energy around this project right now is off the charts. From major institutional adoption to real-time payroll rails to supply tokenomics that scream liftoff, this could be one of those moments in crypto history you'll look back on and say, I saw it before it exploded. Now, before we jump in, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you never miss the daily drops. All right, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with some context. A tweet from @CreativeControl really set the tone for what's happening here. They pointed out that back in 2016, Ripple had a market cap of just $234 million when they debuted at Sibos. By the end of 2017, after Sibos, Ripple's market cap had exploded to $89 billion. That's a 380x growth story in just a year. Now, why does that matter? Because Zebec is heading into Sibos with a $365 million market cap today. The comparison is eerie, and history in crypto has a way of rhyming. Could Zebec be setting up for a Ripple-style moonshot over the next cycle? That's the energy building here, and it's got the community buzzing. Now let's zoom in on the fundamentals. At Alpha Lion 777 dropped a breakdown that shows why institutions are already paying attention to Zebec. We're talking Fortune 500 readiness, real-time payroll, treasury services, and cross-border payment rails. That's not vaporware, that's actual enterprise utility. Compliance? They're locking in SOC2, MISA, FCA, ISO 20022. Translation, this isn't a degen project flying under the radar. This is something being built to slot directly into the financial system, and it doesn't stop there. Zebec has Zebec cards and a super app that bridge TradFi to DeFi, payroll streaming by the second, partnerships with Visa, Mastercard, CodaPay, Azure, Turnkey, and more. This is institutional-grade infrastructure, not hype, not memes, but real Rails enterprises can actually trust. In a space crowded with projects chasing attention, Zebec is quietly laying down the foundation for the next financial era. Speaking of foundation, let's talk tokenomics, because at CryptoQueen007, aka Crypto Queen, dropped an absolute gem. 85–90% of Zebec's supply is locked or vesting long-term. That breaks down to 50% for community rewards dripped over 4+ years, 40% for team and private investors under strict multi-year vesting, and just 6% from the public sale. The last unlock on September 16th, barely 2.1% of the supply. What does that mean? No early rug potential, no whales waiting to dump on retail, super low circulating supply. And when supply is tight and demand starts flooding in, prices don't just move, they rip. It's the same dynamic we've seen in projects that shock everyone by how quickly they move once adoption kicks in. Now let's take it back to the big stage. At Zbcn, man was live at Sibos 2025 in Frankfurt, and the report was wild. Over 9,000 executives from the biggest banks in the world, BNP, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, JP Morgan, Citi, Goldman Sachs, all in one place. And guess who's stealing the spotlight? Zebec, showing off their AI-powered PayFi RWA integrations and ISO 20022 compliant rails. Think about this for a second. These are decision makers with control over trillions in capital, all getting a first-hand look at real-time payroll streaming and next-gen settlement rails. The conversations happening behind closed doors at events like this, that's where partnerships are forged and the future of finance quietly shifts. The energy is there, and if history repeats itself, this could be Zebec's Ripple 2017 moment. And speaking of partnerships, here's one that should grab your attention. According to The Independent, Zebec is working with Deutsche Bank on crypto wages. Yes, you heard that right. One of Europe's biggest banking giants teaming up with Zebec to explore paying out wages in crypto. That's the type of headline that turns heads, not just in the crypto community, but in the mainstream financial press. If adoption like that starts rolling, it's not just bullish, it's paradigm shifting. Let's also not forget about community conviction. A post from at Blue Ocean Zbcn highlighted that 6% of Zebec's total supply, over 6 billion tokens, has already been staked. Average staker, nearly 700,000 tokens each. That's serious skin in the game. People aren't just speculating here, they're locking their tokens to support the network, earn rewards, and signal belief in the long-term vision. Compare that to ETH or SOL staking trends, and you see the same story. High staking ratios are a sign of strong conviction and healthy ecosystems. So let's bring it all together. You've got Zebec walking into Sibos the way Ripple once did, but with even more firepower. You've got compliance and regulatory frameworks already being embraced. Tokenomics tighter than almost any other project out there. Partnerships brewing at the highest level of global finance. And a community that's not just holding but actively staking and building conviction. This is the kind of setup you dream about as a crypto investor. Early market cap, institutional-grade infrastructure, and real-world adoption happening right in front of our eyes. If Ripple could go from $234 million to $89 billion, who's to say Zebec can't chart a similar path? Now, guys, I want to hear from you. Do you think Zebec is the next Ripple-style explosion? Are we looking at one of the biggest hidden gems of this cycle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your takes. And as always, smash that like button if you found value here. Subscribe for daily crypto updates, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Tomorrow we're breaking down more altcoin gems, so stay tuned. Remember, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research, but the signs are lining up. Zebec Zbcn might just be on the edge of something massive. Until next time, stay bullish and keep stacking. Peace.